Welcome, my name is Terence Lachlan and thank you for taking the time to learn about a new Aussie invention that I genuinely believe is set to revolutionise the automation of gates in rural and rural residential communities. Whether your property is a large pastoral station, a small lifestyle block or anything in between, chances are you have at least one gate that is perfect for a Jimmy wheel. The purpose of this video is to introduce to you the Jimmy wheel, give you a clear overview of its main components and explain the benefits that set it apart from other automatic gate openers on the market. I'll be honest, I usually cringe when manufacturers say their products are tried and tested in harsh Australian conditions. But in the case of the Jimmy wheel, it genuinely has been. Through the support of over 50 early adopters across 3 earlier versions, we've been able to refine the product into something that meets the expectations of the people who simply want to demand more. Let's take a look at one in action. The Jimmy wheel is a machine that drives 2 wheels via a DC motor to open and shut your gate. The motor is attached to the bottom of the gate with various brackets and on angles such that the axles of the wheel are pointed to the pivot of the gate. Presently, the Jimmy wheel comes with an electronic lock that can be used to secure the gate in place when it is closed. Before you actually even start installing your Jimmy wheel on your gate, or even before you purchase a Jimmy wheel, is to think about whether your gate is Jimmy wheel ready. So with this gate here, typical farm gate, there's a couple of things we want to point out to you. This gate is definitely not square, it sags. It's a great farm gate and it swings open and comes through here. So it's not dragging on the ground, so we know that the Jimmy wheel is going to actually push it up and down. We don't want a gate that drags. Next thing you really want to consider is, have I got room for my Jimmy wheel to park? Because the Jimmy wheel does take up a bit of space. We can make them shorter and so forth. This one's about just around about 2 feet long, so 600 millimeters. Okay, so let's talk about the placement of your lever limit switch on your gate. So this lever limit switch can be used to activate or notify your control box when the gate's in the completely closed position like it is now, and then when it's in the open position, which we'll show you in a little while. You get your limit switch with its own cable and it plugs into the housing for your latch. You also get a bracket that you can use to put on a stationary object. In this case, we've got a second gate that rarely gets used. And here is a stopper that we use to adjust the point of impact when the stopper hits your lever limit switch. It's extremely important to be able to get this to actuate at the same time as your latch goes across your bracket. Hence why you do need an adjustable stopper. Most of the cables, they come with a plug already installed. That makes it nice and easy when you want to plug it into the socket on the control box. If you do decide to go ahead and put your cables through your gate, you can easily twist these cable plugs off and remove the wires from the screw down terminals and feed your cable through your gate with a medium gauge wire or a special fishing tool. You can then shorten it, and we provide you with the special tools to do that in your DIY kit. Over here we've got one of our older style control boxes. Because this gate's on my brother's farm, he doesn't get the new ones, and I'll show you one of those in a moment. We've also got the button, which won't work at the moment because this isn't plugged in, and our 20 watt, 24 volt solar setup. So you get all these with your DIY kit. If you actually are in an area where it's probably not going to get 8 hours or thereabouts of sun a day, we do recommend that you order a second one of these to be able to ensure that you've got enough power to keep your batteries going. So we'll go over to the new control box, which I'm very proud to show you. It is a bit bigger than what the other two actually have combined. Now, we're not shipping batteries, so you do need to buy your own batteries, and we can tell you what batteries to get. We've laid some double-sided tape down here to help you stick your batteries onto that, and then also this little ledge for it to sit on. So your solar controller there. The one cable that you probably will need to strip and put into the appropriate junction box that comes with your solar panel is this one. And again, we provide you with the tools in your DIY kit to do that. And there's also a couple of videos which we'll put down in the description to show you how to strip those wires. This item here is what we call the carrier board. That's our brains, that's the ESP32. It's a microcontroller which neatly fits into the headers on your carrier board. All the cables are all plugged in. You do not need to worry about any of these cables. We do all the hard work for you. We provide a wiring harness. The red, the black and the purple there are for your batteries. So we'll supply you with the remotes that you need. If you want to order more remotes, you're more than welcome to do that. And we pair that with your receiver. All ours come with an external antenna attached, free of charge, in your DIY kit. That gives you the opportunity to open and close your gate from a further distance away. Now this button is for visitors, or as I like to say, the in-laws, because you wouldn't give remotes to in-laws. So you can attach that at a place that's convenient for you. Sometimes you can hide it from people on the other side of the gate if you don't want them to know about it. Or you can put it somewhere where people who are visiting can easily access it. Back to our new improved control box, you'll see that there is this space that's vacant. That can be used for a couple of different things. We can utilize your garage door remotes if you have a spare channel or button on that to make your Jimmy wheel work. Alternatively, or even additionally, you can also put a 4G router in there and then you can make this an IoT device and operate it from anywhere in the world. We've also got a plug here where we can put in an additional item, camera doorbell keypad, which we can supply and we'll plumb into your control here. And if it has IoT, you can operate that with the smartphone app anywhere in the world. As I say, you can let people in and out as it pleases you. Now, one last thing I would probably point out to you is the power button. It says reset at the top and off down the bottom. It works as a circuit breaker. So again, it's protecting your electronics from any overloading that might happen and protecting your cabling. If it goes off, well, that's because it's gone past 10 amps. We don't want it to go past 10 amps. That only happens in circumstances where perhaps the Jimmy wheel has run into an obstacle. To turn it on, you just press reset, and then you'll start to see all your lights flash up. There is a little bit of a cheat sheet, dip switch instructions and important things to remember. If you need to turn your Jimmy wheel off for some reason, perhaps the batteries have gone flat or something like that, or you just need to turn it off for the day, something you really need to remember is that as soon as you turn it back on, the logic of the Jimmy wheel thinks that it's in the closed position. So if you've got your Jimmy wheel sitting over here in the open position and you've reset that and you press your remote, it's going to continue to try and open. So to avoid that, or if in doubt, always put your Jimmy wheel in the middle or closed when you're resetting it. It's important to probably put it in the middle when you're starting to first set it up. And one of those reasons is we don't know what the polarity of the motor is at that time. You've got a 50-50 chance of getting it right the first time. If you actually put it in the middle and when you've got it started and you press the button to open and it starts to open, that's great. But if it actually starts to shut, then you've got a problem. But it's very simple. All you need to do is switch dip switch number 3. It'll change the logic of your Jimmy wheel. So then when you press open, it will open. And then the next thing it'll do when it hits the limit switch or you press the button or the automatic timer tells it to go back, it will shut. While we're speaking about the automatic timer, 25 seconds is what we tend to set it for. And what do we mean by automatic time of 25 seconds? Basically when your gate opens and it hits, the limit switch is activated and it's completely open. Once it gets to that open position, it will count 25 seconds and then automatically close. If you don't want that, that's simple. You can just turn that off. And that's by number 4 dip switch. When it's up and it's on position, your automatic timer is on for the auto close. If you don't want to rely on automatic close, you turn that down. And then the only way your Jimmy wheel will shut is when you press the button, whether it's on your remote or over there.
All right, we've got to probably the most exciting part, at least I think it is. We're actually going to attach the Jimmy wheel to our gate. What we provide you with to do that are some what I call upright brackets, which we attach to the bottom rung of your gate. You can weld them on if you like. I'm going to bolt them today. We provide you with bolts to do that job. And once they're attached to the bottom of the gate, then we want to position this pivot bracket over the top of those upright brackets. We provide a longer length because sometimes people have their gate way down here. We're trying to keep out the rabbits, but that's fair enough. In that case, you might just go ahead and cut some of that length off. It's entirely up to you. What you do want to remember though, what's extremely important, when we're in the closed position like we are here, we want to have that, at least that arm of the jimmy wheel parallel to the ground, if you like. We don't want the jimmy wheel going down like that on an angle because we're starting to put weight on the gate. If we have it parallel or even slightly back a little bit, the weight of the motor is being taken by the axles and the tyres and then onto the earth. And that's extremely important for a good, long-lasting, effective jimmy wheel. The last point that's extremely important is the angle of attachment. With your arm, you want to have it so that it's on an angle where your axle is pointing to the bottom of the pivot point. We're trying to make a concentric circle. And when you understand the beauty of how the jimmy wheel works in that regard, then you'll understand why the angle is important.
So we've got our jimmy wheel attached to our gate. It's on an angle so that the axle points to the pivot point, and we've got everything plugged in. What we don't know is which way it's going to go when we press the button. It might go that way, which is shutting. When we first activate it, we want it to open that way. We'll press the button, see which way it goes. If it goes the wrong way, then we'll press the button again to stop it, and we'll change a dip switch in the control box. Perfect. So you get 50% of the time you'll get it right. So it started to open, which is exactly what we wanted it to do. Now, if I go back around here, I'm going to press the button to shut it. Let's see if it goes all the way and stops when we want it to stop. Otherwise, we'll need to adjust our adjustable stopper, which hits the limit switch. Well, I think we got it right. The motor's stopped. We're not seeing any spinning action. It's not pushing against the gate. So I'm very happy with that. Sometimes you just get it right first time. Let's press it again, it's opening. Beautiful, beautiful. Very happy. Now over here, we haven't got anything here to stop it yet. But let's say we want to stop it about there. We can easily drive this T-post into the ground. You can pick these up at Bunnings or similar hardware stores. We'll drive this into the ground, and then the lever will hit that and it'll stop where we want. It's not critical where it stops here. We've got plenty of room. Cars can go in and out, and I'm very happy with that. We've got our jimmy wheel installed and we've got our limit switch set in. I would like to also talk through the limit switch a little bit with you. As we're using this lever limit switch, you can see that it's on a horizontal axis. You don't need to have it horizontal. It could be vertical. We've want to go on horizontal here, partly because there's a bit of a gap between the two gates. If you go vertical, it may actually work better for you, depending on your situation. Now, as the horizontal lever comes down here, it hits this star post, it's on a little bit of a time delay. Reason for that is we want it to go all the way past. We want this lever to be all the way past this T-post. So what you need to remember is where the wheel stops when it hits this T-post, so you're going to have to allow yourself enough room over there. So, why should you consider buying a jimmy wheel automatic gate? Well, firstly, if you hate opening gates, like most people I know, then you definitely want to consider the jimmy wheel. Competitors at a similar price point can't really compete with the mechanical function of this product. We've got our actuation all the way down here, as far away from the pivot point as much as possible. The benefit of that is that we're actually creating a heck of a lot of torque. That torque means we can actually probably open it faster. But more importantly, we can do heavier gates. So if your gate is well hung, swings, doesn't drag on the ground, doesn't matter if it's a bit skewed off, doesn't have to be square, doesn't matter if it sags, the jimmy wheel will open and shut it. Now you can't say that for most other automatic gate openers that would be used on a swing gate like this. As soon as that gate sags, as soon as it's out of kilter, it's going to work harder and it's going to break down much quicker. Demand more. Get a jimmy wheel today.